my phone on mute though, so there are not distracting sounds.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
And Pat, we see where it says Robert, you're appearing twice. I mean, your face isn't appearing, but there's one
Yeah,
which shows
That's
you.
just the computer name. Robert generally does attend the town board meetings and sometimes some others, but this is just so, because I know we have plans to look at, although I have those available in another tab, but I wasn't sure how this would work.
This is Danny Boy, by the way.
That's right. Oh, hi, Danny boy. Yeah, you're right, Pat, because Victoria's probably going to share the files. And if you're on your phone, you can't see them, but you'd be able to see them on the computer.
Right.
Okay.
So we're
Thank you.
waiting
That
for,
works.
we're waiting for Dave and Sue. Now, I didn't hear one way or the other from Sue, but it was Dave who said to go ahead with the meeting. So I assume Dave will be joining us. I can text him.
There's Dave.
Here he comes.
Well, you've got your quorum because you've got your 3 and now you've got 4. So
Right.
you're fine.
Yeah, so as soon as Dave is with us, he can start the meeting since he's the chair.
Hi, Pat, this is Don. I don't see you or anything.
So what is on your screen? If you go to the upper right-hand corner of your screen, does it say speaker view or gallery view?
Upper right-hand corner says recording live on YouTube, and upper left says switch to active speaker. I guess that's a choice.
Yes, try that and see if you can see me when I talk or Julia when she talks.
Oh, I can see you talking, and I can see Amber, and I can see Julia, but I don't see Pat or anything. But
They don't have video.
oh,
Right.
Okay.
That's why I'm on the phone, so if I have to, I can speak, but we have no camera and no microphone on our computer. Oh, there's Dave. Hi, Dave.
I don't
Dave,
think
you have to connect your audio in the bottom left corner, or if you're on an iPad, swipe up.
do all the meetings start like this, Vicky?
The
There's a lot of
zoning board is my
patience.
favorite.
Deborah's helping Dave.
Can you hear us, Deb? Oh, now he's on mute.
It went to unmute.
Oh, there
Hey,
you
can
go.
hear us?
Are we there?
We're there. We're looking at your ceiling though.
Oh, why?
It's a nice ceiling.
I only have 4 insets, Vicky. I don't see Dave. There are 4 little boxes. My last one has a minus mark at the end. I don't know what that means. I'm
So
on-
either swipe left or right, or keep clicking on the
Oh,
different.
okay. I just had to swipe a little bit.
Yep, I did the same.
I see Dave now. I'll swipe the other way now.
That doesn't look like Dave to me. It sounds like Dave. Doesn't look like Dave.
What happened?
You're still
I
there?
still hear
We
you.
still see you, Dave.
Yep. Yep.
So Dave, you got the plans that Shelley sent, right?
Yeah. I printed everything out at my house here.
Good.
Um,
Well, and Victoria can put each one on the screen when you're ready to talk about it. So I guess, Dave, you can decide what we're going to do in what order. And then, Victoria can put the plan on the screen for all of us to see at once.
Okay, the first one, the easiest one is, let's see, is the Hunt one. Um,
And
And
Dave,
that-
just so you know, I apologize. Victoria does have us live on YouTube, so we're being recorded and you're live as well.
Okay,
Don't get nervous.
no.
Do I have your permission, Dave?
How's your tomatoes going, Vicky?
They're amazing.
Your mother got a lot of them.
You sure did. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
So that one was on Delia Trail, which is Fishel Road and West Rush Road there. And they were just wanting to put a small garage out back within like 13 feet from the lot line. And because of the septic system, leach lines being back there. And so the drawing also shows the neighbors, and they kind of have the same situation, and the neighbors sent a letter also stating that they were fine with what they are proposing.
What's the
Everybody-
shed for?
Just a 12 by 24. They're calling it a garage. And it seems like the neighbors have one next door that's 17 feet away from their lot line, and that one is 12 by 20. Doesn't show a driveway going back to it. They didn't show, or they didn't, state what it was going to be used for. Probably, storage of lawn equipment or something to get it out of the garage.
Yeah,
The only issue is, they have to put it there because of the leach field in the back, which I think probably next door, they don't show the leach field for the house next door, but theirs is probably the same situation.
does it have a pad?
They're gonna put it on a gravel pad.
Hmm.
So it must be they're just gonna scratch the dirt back, probably put down a landscape fabric. Put gravel down and then put the shed on top of that. So I don't
it's
see,
really nice that their neighbors are supporting them in this. It's good to see people getting along, isn't it?
well, the neighbors must have done the same thing. I don't know when, but
Well,
They
that doesn't
must-
always stop people though from objecting when someone else does it. And I'm
right,
glad that,
right.
I'm glad that in this case, they're supporting each other.
Right. So as far as that, I don't see any issues with that one. And it's, that is a zoning board application anyways. Yeah, zoning board of appeals. So they were just looking to see if we had any comments on it.
So there's no streams, no significant grading, anything like that going on?
Know what is really, they don't give an overall plot plan for, what is behind it. But I think that Delia Trail goes straight in off of Fishel Road. I'm not sure though.
Mhm.
What is the other road that is in there? Delia and,
Biondo?
Yeah.
well, this one comes off Fishel Road, Delia. It doesn't show what is behind, if there's other houses behind it. I'm not sure.
That area,
Or-
that section is pretty well developed, so there probably are neighbors behind it.
Yeah, and it doesn't show, what the other neighbors are.
Mhm.
And where their lot line, where their lot lines are.
Me to do a Google image search so you can see it?
Well, that'd be great.
nice the way all of this comes across.
And again, kudos to Victoria for making it happen.
Yeah, so Delia Trail does come off official.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's where the Easts live, right?
Yeah, but they're farther back in the corner. And he had just put in a request for putting a driveway in to go to a storage area in the back. We looked at that a while ago, or maybe you guys didn't look at it. Maybe I was the only one that looked at it. For his, it's George Eef Jr., his landscape business, and they purchased the rest of that land that was there that goes between Delia Trail and West Henrietta Road. And they were wanting to put in a driveway, a gravel driveway to go back, so, and a gravel pad so they can store the landscape equipment there. But I know that anybody that works for them or any equipment being taken in and out is either going to go down Delia Trail or Biondo Court. My only suggestion was, why don't you put a driveway in off of West Henrietta Road and then nobody sees anything? Because I know that it is, you know, partially treed back in there, and they had cleared some land because George Eef Jr.'s sister is building a house right there off of on that property that they purchased between Delia Trail and West Henrietta Road and Fishel Road. They're building a house off of Fishel Road there now. Gerber Homes is building that house. And it should be constructed by now. I know that they had the go-ahead to do that. But yeah, the only other thing that I thought, you know, for that George Eef was, why don't you put the driveway off of West Henrietta Road and then nobody sees anything going on back there. You know, you bought another, I forget how much land it was, but I think it was maybe anywheres from 10 to 15 acres back in there. Okay, so that shows Delia Trail, so it shows trees in the backyard. And then how does that go further there? So that's open field behind them? No, that's other people's backyards behind them. So you see the other neighbor's garage that is adjacent to where they want to put theirs, right? Yeah.
That's a real good job, Vicky. We can get a real good overview of the situation.
That's really helpful.
Yeah. I mean, it's just lawn. It looks pretty innocuous to me.
Yeah, so there's trees in the backyard, so nobody's gonna see it except for the neighbors. And it looks like the neighbors got a bunch of trees in their yard too, probably to, you know, for a little bit of privacy.
Looks like we know where to have a pool party.
Yeah.
Pool's there, look at
Good
it.
pool hopping.
I hope they all got permits. We're not looking at that today, though. So does anybody else have any other comments on that?
No.
We don't have Pat tonight, Julia?
Yeah, she doesn't have video.
I'm
Oh.
here. I just am keeping my phone muted, but the computer has no camera and no microphone. I
Okay.
like it that way, actually.
Do you have any comments, Pat?
No, I agree with what everyone has said. It is very nice that there are no neighbor disputes.
Yeah, so there is another neighbor on the other side, but it looks like, you know, they won't be looking at that shed when it's put up. And I don't even know if they have other neighbors closer by. So then if they put that shed in, then there's no room for a pool. Okay, so I guess that's it for that one. Anybody else have anything?
You could fit a pool back there.
Yeah, probably. Well, no, you got the leach field
Oh,
problem.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
All right. So
Oh, so the next one is the Lindsay application.
All right, let me just
Um,
find it in one sec. I don't think I have that one.
It's Kiefer, Victoria. I think it's a hyphenated.
Oh,
name, if
yeah.
I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, Keeper, Keipper. Says Daniel Lindsay and Lindsay Keeper Lindsay. Now, why would you marry somebody with the same last name as your first? So they were told by the previous building inspector that they could go ahead with, they had set 1,000 square feet in-law apartment addition onto the house. And now Rick Tracy is saying that per certain zoning law that they could only go with 800 feet. And they're saying that they've, already got this all planned, and Key Homes is already drawing them up plans. So it looks like they got a plot plan for the home too. There was no comments from any of the neighbors that I saw. My concern was if I saw that they had something in there for the size of the septic system, but it doesn't say. They also have a water level alarm in that septic system, so they must have a pump in there that when it gets up so high, it pumps the leach lines, just the gray water. And then if something were to fail, the pumper then it rises and trips a float switch, which sends an alarm probably into the house that things aren't working back there. But I think that this detail that Monroe County Department of Health had was for when the house was built. I'm not sure. It's not really saying. And yeah, so it was in October of 1998, and Don Cabes used to own that house, I guess, because I remember that he did live back there, and I was surprised to see that somebody else's name was on this. And I don't know if it's Don Cabes that lives in the house off of West Rush Road there, or if it's, I thought that was his son's house off of West Rush Road. Because I think Don Cabes died and they must have sold that house to the Lindsays there. And now they want to put an addition on there for in-law apartment. I see that they've got a manhole marked on the plot plan also. That must be for where the pump is for the septic system. And I don't know if that septic system will be good enough. They got a 1,500 gallon tank, it says. So, and what was it, 440 feet of leach field. I don't know how much they would need for all of this, adding, 2 more people onto it, or really they just go by the number of bedrooms. So they're adding 1 more bedroom onto it. I don't know if they plan on adding on to the septic system. Probably not.
So does the health department have to give approval?
Yeah, there is they have to have a survey map, owners and locations of adjacent properties, which they show that on that one map. Monroe County Health Department system inspection and a short environmental assessment form. And that's kind of a funny lot there, you know, it's a flag lot that goes way back in. And I know that all of the land around it rises up behind it, going up to I don't know if you show that, yeah. It goes up to the Koff residence there, Jimmy and Catherine Koff up there. So the original,
Is that the old Kathy Lewis property?
yes.
This one's next door, but the one Dave's talking about, the Koff property, is exactly Kathy and Dick's.
Yeah,
That's
When I
number
looked on-
50. We're looking at number 50, is that right?
yeah, number 50.
And
50.
Kathy Lewis's property was number 70, right?
Okay, so the original house
Correct.
was approved for 4 bedrooms. As baffled, let's see, 1,500 gallon tank, so I think it's usually 1,000 gallon tank, so that's an extra big tank, and then 440 feet, so that's 8 lines, 55 feet long, so usually, but that's probably because it was the 4 bedroom. But that's quite a bit. Usually it's like 6 lines at 40 to 50 feet. Let's see, they're 100 feet from the, well, they're on public water there. So they don't have to worry about a well there. Says the pump station is 5 to 8 feet deep, with a low level or a high level water alarm. And that was from when the house was originally built. There are no lot line disputes, you know, zoning for that. What else do they have there? They do have the short environmental assessment form in there. And they've got 4¼ acres back in there. Can everybody see that assessment, short environmental assessment form?
What page are you on, Dave?
The page 2 of 4.
This one?
Yeah.
All right, I can make it bigger.
And I imagine with that type of system that they probably should have, I don't know if it says it anyplace, but they should have had a curtain drain around that septic system. Or maybe, you know, a lot of, I don't know if they were doing it then, but future expansion on that septic system. You know, sometimes they leave it, but I think that's just a regular, it's not a raised bed septic system, as far as I know, but it could be because that's why they have the pump.
You're
And
looking at,
that's probably why they have the pump.
you know, the form isn't that long or complicated, and we're always seeing this where people skip questions. I mean, how difficult is it to answer that? Is the proposed action located in an archaeological sensitive area? And they don't answer it.
Yeah, it doesn't, it says no for the storm drains going to that area. It's not in the floodplain. Animals, wastewater, no historic site. It's proposed action, permit use under zoning regulations. Yes, comprehensive plan, yes. So that says 2 of 4. Now here's 3 of 4, if you want to move to that. So they're not near any retention pond or wastewater lagoon. No wastewater, no remediation. Yeah, now the end of that whole, on page 3, there's, 9 questions that that weren't answered there.
Maybe they didn't
I-
have to.
I think they're for the lead agency.
Yeah, that's what it says. Okay, so that's why they didn't do that. So my only concern is the septic system big enough for that? The rest of it is pretty much a zoning thing. And is that why that, well, it's gone before the planning board, so, because they're going to, put an addition on the house.
But there's a dispute, given the original apparent
Mhm.
approval from the previous building
Right.
inspector, and then the current building inspector
Right.
says, no, this size is not allowed.
Yeah, and I just noticed, Dave, you mentioned that it should have a curtain drain, and it's saying no, curtain drain, no.
Okay.
Is the dispute a zoning issue or,
Well, it's a special permit application for the planning board, which is mainly just for the addition of the in-law apartment and approval of it. But Rick Tracy was saying that, 800 square feet is for the zoning, but this one is planned for 1,017 square feet.
so you can have an addition of 800 feet, or does it have to do with the existing size of?
Well, this
You know,
letter that
in
Victoria is
addition-
showing us explains it, I think,
Yeah,
as to whether it should be classified as an accessory apartment. From
Well-
this, it's looking like Doug Barber didn't use that classification, and Rick Tracy is saying that it does apply. And that in turn limits the square footage for the accessory apartment. So if it's not an accessory apartment, okay, as an in-law suite, is that a classification? Or would it just be like considered an addition to the house as opposed to a separate unit?
Yeah, they're good with their lot line setbacks, but it says the structure to be no more than 25% of the lot area. And what I say, they had just over 4 acres there, so it's not like they're trying to put something in on a small acreage area and make it real tight. They've got the room to do that. So our main concern is just, anything conservation minded,
Right.
which would be the septic system right now.
Well, not just that, possibly, because I'm
Yeah.
wondering if part of the dispute has to do with the issue of a kitchen. I'm not seeing that, but I wonder if that may be why, the second building inspector felt it was an apartment as opposed to an in-law suite.
Yeah,
Usually an in-law suite might have its own bathroom. but
yeah, it should
would
have
not-
its own, right.
But it wouldn't have its own kitchen. If this is going to have a kitchen, doesn't that create a few other issues in terms of, waste disposal and so forth? If it's going to if we're going to be adding another kitchen as well as another bathroom. I'm just
Yeah,
saying maybe.
yeah, I don't know. The main thing has always been how many bedrooms, that's how they classify it.
Well, because usually you wouldn't be allowed to have a second kitchen. I mean, in most situations, you renovate space, but if you add a kitchen,
yeah, it says kitchen window.
I'm sorry,
You see how it says, here, let me see if I can draw on it.
yeah, I think
Existing house and then,
that's the existing house's kitchen window, right?
There's the
yeah,
kitchen.
I think that's the existing house.
Oh, you do?
I'm not sure. That's
Well, that's the bigger, it says existing house, and that's the bigger section. And then I thought that that rectangle overall, to the right of it, or as
This
we
one?
say, where it says something, I can't quite read it. So
Flush floor with house.
what more with house?
Flush.
Oh, okay. And there it says, so that, and there's a, that's what I was thinking, because it's saying house, house, house on those corners.
That one rectangle there, 26 by 14, that's only 364 square feet.
Right.
So it must be
Yeah.
including that.
This,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I see. The existing house is sort of out of our view, and all of that we're looking at is the in-law apartment, and
Yeah.
the in-law apartment, whatever it is. So it does show a kitchen.
Yeah.
It sounds like maybe Barbara didn't catch something there, because again,
Bathroom
if it's
window,
a kitchen, that
utility
changes
room.
everything.
A washer and dryer that's going to include also.
Yeah, I mean, that's an apartment. That's not an in-law suite.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And from a conservation standpoint, adding another kitchen, another washer dryer to one house on one lot, I mean, I think that creates some new questions for us, doesn't it?
right. Will that, mainly where will the runoff from that house go? And will the septic system, which is up to county health, will that septic system be able to handle that? It was built, that original house is a 4-bedroom house. And the thing that they gave us from, it looks like the gray water goes out or the affluent from this house goes out quite a ways on the original plan. And it went to that, there's a manhole cover out there. I think they showed that someplace, didn't they?
I
Where
couldn't
that,
find it, Dave. Where is it?
that manhole cover, it showed it someplace there. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
See that manhole there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see the original house. I was just looking at that.
Got a statue on it? That's interesting. It says statue. Don't usually see those on plans.
What is it? Oh, yeah, they had a horse statue back there.
Oh,
There's another one behind the addition.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
What's the manhole for?
The manhole is for the pump station to pump the gray water out into the septic system.
Where's the leach lines?
Leach lines are way in the back there. Do you have that copy, Vicki, the Monroe County Department of Health?
I don't think so. Which number or which page number?
There is no page number on it. It just came through as Monroe County Department of Health, and it's the original. It's the original
No.
County Department of Health.
You're assuming back there somewhere?
Yeah. Yeah, it came out of the back of the house, and then turns and goes to that manhole. They got something labeled as C. I don't know what C is on that. But that pump station is 5 feet wide by 8 feet deep, with a 2-inch discharge out of it that pumps everything out to the distribution box in the leach field. I got just a little drawing of the leach field, and it looks like there might have been, I see a bunch of slash marks on it, so that either meant that there's a slope on it, or it was for future expansion. So I can write that down. You know, was there future expansion planned for,
Well, even if there
house-
was, we're really talking about another house. We really are. We're talking about making this into it. I mean, there's no separate entryway and no separate utilities, but otherwise we're talking about a two-family house, you know, and two adjoined dwelling units. And even if there was designed for an extra bedroom going forward, that it never would have been designed for an extra kitchen, an extra, you know, an extra laundry. I think we need to raise that prominently because that does have environmental implications.
right? So I can do all of that. Hey, Vicky, I wanted to fax that stuff back to the town hall so I don't end up having to go back there. Do you have a fax number there?
I do not know. Amber,
Is there an e-fax number?
you want to
I-
scan this
I-
document and send it where, Dave?
Just back to the town hall, to the town clerk.
I think she has it, because I think she's the one that sent it out to Julia.
Yeah, but I think Dave wants to put comments on it and send it back.
Yeah, I've got all the forms. I'm gonna fill those out, the application review forms. And then I can just fax them back to the town hall.
All right, let me go to trusty Google. See if the town of Rush has a fax number.
I'm sure, it probably
Good.
does.
It does. Are you ready?
Yep,
585-533-9346.
okay. All right, that helps. So then I don't have to take a ride down there and bother anybody. I can just fax that stuff back in with our comment sheets. And so our one comment is not so much the size of the addition, but what's going to be in the addition, including a bedrooms and laundry and
Kitchen.
a second comment, kitchen, and a second comment of was the original septic system built to handle more, for expansion. Anything else?
Maybe just to say, concerned about possible environmental impact of adding an additional kitchen and additional washer.
Okay,
And Victoria, it's Amber. I just forwarded you what Dave was talking about, the Monroe County form. And then the planning board has a survey. Dave, I don't know if you got that or not. I just saw it come through on an email. So I forwarded it to Victoria so she can share it if you guys want to see it.
The survey map or the other one?
They're all on the same property. The second email that came in is, I believe, what Dave was talking about from Monroe County.
Okay.
If it has the septic layout on it. Is that the form, Dave, that had it on it?
Yeah. Yep.
the Monroe
And
County.
then,
There's.
yeah. And then there was a survey map too, which I don't know is different than what we received for the Conservation Board, if that would help you at all as well.
Yeah, it would have to be an original one for when the house was built to show if there was expansion for that. Laundry, kitchen.
So
So
that,
well back
yeah,
there.
And then when does this come before the planning board?
the public hearing, I believe, is the third Tuesday of this month.
Okay. And there was no comments from any,
Is that well active?
yeah, I don't know. Why is there a well?
They're on public
Victoria,
water. Right?
Yeah. I'm
Victoria, do
pretty-
they have a date on that map by any chance?
September 16th, 2019. I think that's just what I read in the tiniest font ever. September
When
19th.
the land changed hands there, if the original owner died, which I know he did, and when they bought it. Yeah, there's a long driveway that goes back to that. And it doesn't show any contours either. You know, the land, I know the land rises up from there on the lot line there, the Chasman subdivision lot line there where the Coughs live.
No, I'm just thinking out more about this more. I wonder if it wasn't that Barber missed it. Maybe they added the kitchen to the plans afterwards, or maybe it just wasn't showing that it was going to have a separate kitchen when it was approved by the first building inspector. Maybe it was the plan that changed. And this isn't really my place, but to say this, but actually they might be able to resolve the whole problem by, instead of using a full kitchen, to put in like a mini fridge and a microwave.
Yeah.
And then they might be able to have it classified as an addition rather than as an apartment.
And they probably also got to look at how big other, because I worked on 2 houses over there on Middle Road, that both of those houses had in-law apartments in them. And I know that those in-law apartments, of course, they were new houses going up, so they were already planning on what size septic system was going in there. But they were good sized apartments and they had, you know, their own stacker laundry and kitchen, 1 bedroom. So they must have planned on that. But still, that existing house is a 4-bedroom house. That's why the septic system was so big in the first place. So there'll probably be an inspection by the health department also to review it. And does John Felsen still work for the health department?
No, he's been retired a long time.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. Is Don still retired? Don Root?
Yeah, he's still retired. Were you working in the cemetery recently?
No,
Oh, I was driving by. I thought I saw you.
no, not in the cemetery. I don't want to go there for a long time.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hot tub today for Kirsten Flass, the librarian.
Really?
Yeah, hot tub party there tonight if it's warm enough.
The hot tub, you don't need it to be warm. The tub is warm.
Yeah. Right.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. So I said, I've got addition will contain a laundry, kitchen, bedroom, or bedrooms. We don't know for sure. Bathroom, will septic be able to handle the extra load? And I'm going to put down, was the original septic planned with future expansion?
And environmental concerns about additional kitchen and laundry.
Okay,
And you might ask about the status of that well.
yeah,
Question.
okay. And that's on what, the plot plan that they had?
The well was on that last paper that Vicky put up, maybe from
Yeah,
Amber.
that was the survey map that the planning board is receiving. I'm not quite sure why
Okay.
it didn't come in with our documents.
And that was dated when?
That was the 9/19.
Yeah,
2000.
2019. I can open it up again. I just gotta find it again. Right here. All right, hang on. Yeah,
Yeah, and so what was the date on that?
2019.
Okay, so that must be when that property changed hands. I'm pretty sure. Control impact. Okay, anything else? Anybody else have any more comments?
Nope.
No,
No,
Okay, are we ready to sign off if we want?
do you want me to end the meeting?
Well, actually,
So
I just have
before-
one other thing to talk about.
Okay,
And I think there was, Julia, I think there was a third thing in that document that they sent us, right? It was, are you guys looking to redo your forms of some form, or was that just sent along in that email? You know what I'm referring to?
Yeah, I
There were
do.
3 document attachments. I
um,
think it's what Dave fills out or something. Maybe that's why they put it as part of it.
This one. Can you see it?
not yet,
Almost
Not
there.
yet, but it was like-
coming.
Oh, there you
There it
go.
is.
No, I think that was for,
Yeah.
for Dave.
Yeah,
to-
I have those.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's
It's
that.
just-
I didn't know if you were redoing
We
them
weren't
or something.
receiving them at our meetings, the last meeting that we had. So we just wanted to make sure that we were getting them so we could make comments.
Right, instead of just having to find another piece of paper for it, right?
Right,
Other
right.
thing I had to, remember, Dave, when you and I spoke a few weeks ago, and there was that time where we didn't think we needed to meet, about, looked like a minor issue, but then it turned out that, you needed to go in and put some written comments in. You mentioned that to me, and actually Pam had questioned me about that before you mentioned it. So I just thought to get everybody on the surprised of it, it would be a good idea, just to go over it with everybody.
And what was that, Julia?
You remember, I don't remember the exact plans, but which they were, but you told me that, we hadn't thought we had to comment on it, but then the applicant asked
Oh,
you.
yeah, I went in there one day and just reviewed a bunch of plans that they had, and they were mostly zoning stuff, for, a fence or, on lot lines, or the same thing, another little tool shed or garage shed or that. And the other one was also that, which I commented on, the George Eef one there in Biondo Court. And really, why did he need to have a driveway coming off of his property right there in Biondo, Delia, Biondo Court there? I don't know if they're on Biondo or Delia. I think he was on Biondo. They're back in the corner there. But for his landscape and stuff, and my only comment was, you've got that land and it borders right out to Route 15. Get a driveway permit from Route 15 if you're going to park stuff back there. And, he has a business, which, they've already gone after and resolved it. The guy there on Jeffords Road, that Santoro, He built a barn out behind his house and a separate driveway because he had 2 lots, but he had all of his workers coming in the morning and then going out with trucks and trailers. And he ended up buying a piece of commercial property on West Henrietta Road, just across the town line into Henrietta from Rush. And that's where he's doing his business out of now, and he kind of resolved it himself, so he's not bothering the neighbors around there, because he was real close to a neighbor. He backed right up to a neighbor that was right off of Pinnacle Road there, but he had a long driveway, went back in, the neighbor did. And, the barn was like right in his side yard. So kind of the same thing, why didn't they, that George Eve just have his own driveway off of West Henrietta Road? So he can conduct his business that way. And does the town really approve of him doing his business that way? Because they were wanting to make a big gravel pad to park their landscape equipment and trailers and trucks back in there. And so I don't know whatever became of that. That was going before the zoning board.
Dave, can I just ask for clarification?
Yeah.
Did someone request you as the chair to come in and review those applications, or was that?
Yeah, actually, through the zoning board, Lee Hetrick wanted me to come in and review those. It was kind of a last minute thing because they were going to meet like the next day or so. And so I went in and I got the plans from Pam, and then went into the room and just, made some comments on them. And then that was the only one that really stuck with me, that, how they, or did they resolve that? The zoning board, what they did about that. And that was my only comment, that, why don't you put a driveway if you own the land all the way out to West Henrietta Road? Why don't you put a driveway in there? And, so then the neighbors aren't looking at it, because I know that lot is pretty good size that George Eve bought. It was the rest of the expansion of Biondo Court that never got approved. I don't know. I know they had tried to sell it for quite a while.
Yeah, I just wanted the full board to have the background on that, since the question was, was asked.
Yeah.
So I just figured it's best if we were all apprised.
Right, and it doesn't sneak up on us.
Right. Or it's not like, well, why weren't we told? Because I just like to keep the board
Yeah,
apprised of everything related to the board, which we all know.
right. Okay, are we all set? Everybody all
Okay.
set?
Dave, do you keep the recording, or should I send it to Pam or Shelley?
Probably send it to them.
Okay,
I have no need for it, really. Yeah.
okay,
I'm writing down some minutes, and I'll fax that out. And if they have any other questions, they can probably review this,
correct, yep.
which it's been almost an hour-long thing, but they got to have something to do. And then Vicky, are you going by Mosetti, or are you going,
Mosetti, I never changed it.
okay. 2 Z's?
1 S, 2 T's, like spaghetti.
Oh, S. An S. 2 T's. Okay.
And many thanks again to Victoria
Okay.
for doing this.
Yeah, this worked well.
Thank you very much for setting it up. It's a great way
Of
to
course.
meet.
My pleasure. All
Okay.
right.
Good
Everyone,
night.
Good night, everyone.
Do it again
All right.
next month, baby.